Sir, this isn't a love story. This is a horror story. And you don't want to share control. You don't want to share love. You want to always be the guy in control. And you use your fist. And if you interrupt me one more time, we'll continue this in another 93 days. Because I can. Every word you say will be another 93 days. You're the one that took yourself out of the lives of the mother of your children and your children by your vile actions against them.
I have already formally acknowledged to the court that I have made false allegations and provided false information, and I have accepted responsibility for my consequences of those actions. I have also made it clear that the father of my children is not a threat to me or our children. Most importantly, I think about our children. We have 4 children under the age of 4 who need both their parents. Every day I'm faced with questions, tears, confusion, and the heartbreaking reality that their father is not home with them. I, as a mother, struggle to find the words to explain why he is absent from their lives. 4 years old, have recently been diagnosed with autism. As we begin to navigate therapies, appointments, and developmental challenges and the uncertainties that come with this diagnosis, I find myself at a loss for words. One of our children has never even had the opportunity to meet their father. He has missed milestones, first everythings, and most importantly, memories that can never be recreated. I understand I cannot change the past, but I hope my honesty, my accountability, and my sincere remorse will be taken into consideration. Above all else, I hope for an outcome that allows our children to have the chance of learning love from their father.
All right, this courtroom gets real quiet, real fast. She admits she made false allegations, then immediately starts talking about their 4 little kids and how much they need their dad. I mean, that's the kind of statement that makes everyone wonder if the judge is about to show mercy. But wait, look at the judge's face. Not a hint of emotion. Just that laser-focused stare that says, I'm listening, but I'm not convinced. And trust me, the next response changes everything.
I find your statement very sad. You didn't do anything wrong. I understand how very difficult it is to be a single mom. I am a single mom. For most of my life, I worked 5 jobs to pay for those kids. I never received child support. I get it. But here's the thing, man. You chose your kids. And that's the most important decision you could make. I don't believe that you lied, man, and I'll tell you why. The officer noted Beauchamp's visible injuries, including red marks on her neck, a cut on the inside of her bottom lip, and redness and swelling around her right eye. The officer took photographs. You were seeing black dots. He tried to stop you from exiting. You tried to push past him. He punched you in the face a number of times with closed fists. The evidence shows that, man. You want your children to learn love? They cannot do that if there's violence in the home. What children will learn is that love means getting punched, getting strangled, getting scratched and pushed, and all those things that happened between you and him. Love means pulling a gun out. Love means getting struck in the head with the end of a gun. All those things that happen to you, your children learn the definitions of words by what they see and what they hear, what they feel, and what they have been through. Watching you get beaten and demoted and demeaned. He's the father of your children, and being a good mom, you do not want your children to think poorly of their dad. But man, he's caused them emotional trauma. He's caused you physical and emotional trauma. To the point where you feel guilty about what he did. You feel like you put him behind bars. The only one that put him behind bars is him. I had to hold him in contempt for 93 days because of his behavior. He likes control. He likes the power that he has over people who are not as strong as him. If you die in his hands, you can't be a mom anymore. We can only protect your children by locking them up and getting them treatment. Otherwise, it's going to happen again and again until someone dies, or maybe you lose an eye or an arm. I have seen all of those cases, man. You don't deserve to take blame that does not belong to you, or to tell this court that this didn't happen, because I know it did, because this isn't just you talking. Law enforcement did a good job of documenting your injuries, ma'am. In the heat of the moment, you told the truth. And I want to tell you how brave you are and how proud you should be that you are before this court. But please, tell yourself the truth. Get into some therapy. Don't keep choosing the kind of man that shows love with a fist. He can't be a dad and he can't be a significant other or husband. He just cannot be. He needs some significant time behind bars and treatment. Otherwise, he is a danger and you may end up with a dead child. You can watch my court on Zoom. You can come in here and watch it. You can watch any other judge. We see that regularly.
There it is. The judge leans forward with that absolutely not expression and starts listing every documented injury, one by one. Bro really thought feelings were about to beat evidence. Nah. Bruises, swelling, strangulation. Suddenly this isn't a love story anymore. Then the judge says those children are learning that violence equals love. OHHH, you can actually see the disappointment written across her face. But somehow, this case is only getting started.
Am I asking for him to pay for like therapies?
For therapy or anything else that happened as a result of this, that is your right to ask for.
I'm asking that you consider not only, yes, my mental health, and I will be going to therapy and taking it serious and getting on the road to heal and prosper. His mental is very deteriorating as well.
Well, we're going to get him treatment, but he needs to pay for your treatment, ma'am. I don't know, there's a crime victims fund, there are certain ways you get paid for. I don't know what's in play for you, but any of the co-pays that you're responsible for, he should pay, so I'm going to order that.
Non-stop communication or attempts to communicate from the defendant to the victim since the arraignment at district court. I have had to present to judges, I think 5 or 6 times, evidence that this defendant has been contacting the victim in violation of the contact order, that he would continue to try and find ways around that. Video visits, calls, messages. He would use other inmate accounts. He would tell her to get numbers. He would try and use fake names. He tried sending it to a fake name, Tammy Lavina, but it was to an address that had belonged to the victim. And of course, he signed in it, Tyrone Howell gave his entire inmate number as well as the entire contact information for the jail.
Wait, now we're talking therapy bills instead of prison time. That's how deep this damage goes. The victim quietly asks if he should help pay for treatment, and the judge doesn't hesitate for a second. Then the prosecutor stands up. Look at the judge's posture. She sits back with that. Go ahead, tell them, look. Chuckle if you think this defendant has finally stopped making bad decisions. You're about to find out he did the complete opposite.
He writes, "Dear Queen, hey, how's everything going? I hope okay. Thanks for not letting me know the gender of our starseed, let alone the name, which is very foul. You know I'm really trying to have a very positive outlook on things, especially when it comes to us. I mean, if us is even a thing anymore. I wouldn't know. I can only assume we're still. I can only assume you're still waiting on me, waiting on my return, just letting you know every night I think of you and our starseed. It's very stressful when I haven't heard from you since September 20th, while still confused about what I did. Like, can't you please have some sort of respect for us and all we have and been through, to tell me what I truly did wrong, for you to leave me on stuck, to leave me on silent, to not allow me to hear our starseed's voices, which again is foul. No one deserves to be treated how you doing me. I really thought you had a pure heart. Please don't do me like that. I love you, Queen, and forever will tell the boys how much I love them, and happy birthday to M. I love you all dearly, and I wish I was home with you. I pray for us every night. I hope you still want us as bad as I do. You said you could wait 3 years. Don't allow our starseeds to see you with another. I need you badly, and I pray you still want and need me also. Any way to give you an update on these cases? They still try to send me up the road. I need you to please show up to my court date on the 28th of January. Not sure the time, but you can look on 30th Circuit Court page. Find Aquilina and find my name to see the time. But I need your help, please, to win these cases. Please don't allow me to spend years away when you can help me. I just need you to either show up and let them know I'm innocent, or may you write a letter to Aquilina, please, her address. And then there's another letter he put in here. I miss every part of you. If you're doing this to hurt me, you're winning the roll-up. But I would never... The roll-up, that is, for this victim. But I would never just leave you in jail not knowing anything pertaining to us. Like, don't you think I want to know our newborn name? Correct? Yes, I do. I cry at least once a week thinking about you and the kids. I cried on their birthdays, knowing I'm not there, and I'm crying now because I'm not there to protect them, nor you, from this cruel world we live in. Queen, please don't let them grow up without a dad like I did. We owe it to them. I owe it to them. We used to talk daily, and I even got more charges added because of doing so. Then now you just cut me off. Please show up to court and send a letter. Please keep trying. And he has been telling her from the beginning of this case, this is her fault. He has been telling her that she needs to come and say what she said today to try and make this all go away. He has been telling her as recently as 5:08 p.m. yesterday, because he continued to call her, calling his friend Dorian Price and having him, or I think it was Pierce, having him do a three-way call with the victim and telling her it's also her fault for all of the contacts that have happened in violation of the court's orders, instructing her to come to court, make a victim impact statement, and they also to specify about how she needs him out for their children. This man won't stop. His attorney did a fantastic job, advocated for him and negotiating with me to give me a plea deal that I did not want to give, which was the 36 months. He then asked for his phone privileges to be reinstated after the umpteenth time of him being caught and confronted in court.
All right, the prosecutor starts reading the jail letters and BRO. This sounds less like an apology and more like emotional salesmanship. Dear Queen. Really? Then he starts begging her to help him beat the case and show up in court for him. I mean, did he seriously put that in writing? Look at the judge's face, completely still, almost like she's heard this exact script 100 times before. But wait, the prosecutor isn't even close to the biggest reveal.
He was told over and over by myself, by the court, and by his own attorney, over and over, the only thing that can lose you these 36 months is misconduct in between plea and sentence, which can cover many things, but specifically for you, do not continue to contact the victim. If you violate the no contact order again between plea and sentence, you will lose this 36 months. Don't do it. And then he did it. He did it using other inmate accounts again. He did it having her use a completely new phone number and having her use a completely different person's name. He tried to take numerous steps to evade this in his calls, to evade detection, trying to refuse to refer to her by name. Even at one point saying, this definitely isn't the victim. This is Taylor Hollingsworth, right? On Monday, after that hearing, he continued to message Dorian Price at 9:01 p.m. on Monday, say, WTW, I don't know what that's abbreviation for. Brother, text Whoop and say, I'm gonna give my lawyer her number. She gotta be Taylor. They're trying to give me 5 years. He then did a video visit with him, reiterating, check your messages, check your text, check the text I sent. She needs to talk to my lawyer. She has to be Taylor, the fake name. I said on Monday, I was looking to have the Kilbrews nullified by his actions, and instead of 36 months, I was going to be asking for 5 years. I said on Monday that's my intent was. And then he continued to violate the orders of the court and then try and even use his lawyer, unknowing to her, to commit a fraud upon this court. Opposing counsel sent me an email to that effect on Thursday and reached out to me again today to continue very effectively advocating for her client, advocating for me to give him mercy and grace. He continued to contact her last night, again, as late as 5:08 p.m., off another inmate account, off another way to try and evade detection. He will not stop. He has been given every opportunity to prove to this court that he will not continue to violate the orders of this court or to commit new felonies. If I wanted to, I could charge him with about 9 different counts of felony witness interference, and now I think potentially conspiracy to suborn perjury.
And stalking.
And potentially stalking. And that's without even addressing the underlying facts of this case, which is that he keeps beating the mother of his children. He keeps doing it while on bond. One of the cases that was dismissed didn't involve her. It involved drug possession. He committed that while absconding from probation for his other case, which that probation was terminated afterwards. I'm not asking for 5 years anymore. I'm asking you to sentence him to the top of the guidelines consecutively across his files. That being 24 months consecutive with 67 months in file 25-5593 FH. Because he chose this over and over. He chose these actions. He chose these consequences, and he tried to rope in the mother of his child. He had the mother of his child in front of this court just admit to what are felonies, that he knows are felonies, lying to officers, because he doesn't care. He made this choice.
Nah, this is where everything falls apart. The prosecutor explains he had a sweetheart deal, just 36 months. Everyone warned him. One more call, and it's gone. So what does he do? Fake names, other inmate accounts, secret messages, the whole package. Bro treated a court order like it was a challenge. The judge barely moves, but that look says, you buried yourself. Sigh, and now the defense has to somehow clean up this disaster.
Give him what he's asked for.
He did take responsibility this afternoon earlier with regard to not running the evidentiary that we were originally planned on running. Your Honor, I would ask the court to not consecutively sentence him. I think at this point he is very likely about to lose any opportunity he had at boot camp, which was something we very much were negotiating regarding, as the court is aware. And given that, I would respectfully ask that we not do as consecutive and not toward the top of the guidelines. I think Mr. Howell is somebody who needs some assistance. He needs some help, and I'm hoping that the Department of Corrections will be able to assist him with that. Thank you.
Sir, what would you like me to know? Remember, you're still under oath.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like you to know that I'm not a troublemaker. I'm not whatever anybody opposes me and thinking that I am. I'm not that. This is just a love story. A person that is in love with his woman and in love with his kids. That's what I am. I'm not no career criminal. You see my background, and I don't have substantial. Like I have misdemeanors. I'm not a felon. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I want to know, and I want to say I apologize to the courts for doing what I did do as far as communication.
Sir, this isn't a love story. This is a horror story. And you don't want to share control. You don't want to share love. You want to always be the guy in control. And you use your fist. And if you interrupt me one more time, we'll continue this in another 93 days. Because I can. Every word you say will be another 93 days. You're the one that took yourself out of the lives of the mother of your children and your children by your vile actions against them. It is not lost on me, as I said to her, that she came in here claiming fault for all of it. That's your fault. You made her feel like everything was her fault, your imprisonment, you're harming her. Well, you could say no, but I know this pattern very well. I see it regularly, and she should not have thought that it was important in front of you to tell me she lied and she was at fault. She didn't do anything wrong. You did it all wrong, sir. You're not a dad. You're a sperm donor. even if you didn't lay a hand on them, sir. They know what's going on. They hear the screams, the cries, they see it. You harmed your children as much, maybe more, than you even harmed her. And you can say no, but that denial tells me you need a long time away.
The defense asks for mercy. Then the defendant stands up and actually calls this a love story. Wait, what? Bro really thought that line was going to work after everything we just heard? The judge's eyes narrow instantly, and she fires back with, "This isn't a love story. This is a horror story." OHHH, you could feel the air leave the room. Chuckle, but somehow, he still decides to argue. And that's where things completely go off the rails.
You don't think you did anything wrong. You did everything wrong.
Can I speak, Your Honor?
What would you like me to know, sir?
I'm not what you perceiving me as. You perceiving me as a biased person already. You perceiving me as an evil monster already. I'm not those things, Your Honor.
Already? I have a huge history here, sir. I read already some of the things into the record that happened here. Are you telling me that she didn't have a cracked lip, that there wasn't swelling on her forehead, that you hit her with a cell phone, that she had red marks on her neck, a cut inside her bottom lip, redness and swelling around her right eye, you punched her in the face? You're telling me none of that happened?
It didn't happen, Your Honor. It didn't.
Well, let me just understand. She just came into the house looking like that. Is that what happened?
I wasn't there, Your Honor. I'm not sure.
Oh, now you were not there. So when police arrived, that was an image of you? That was somebody else impersonating you?
When?
He literally pled guilty.
I understand.
Yeah, I did. I pled guilty to take a plea. Yeah, for sure. I did that. But I'm not what you saying. You saying that like I'm just some angry monster or something. I'm not that angry monster. Then you call me a sperm donor,
Yeah.
which is very disrespectful. I'm not.
It's not disrespectful, sir. When you assault the mother of your children, you are a sperm donor.
I'm not a sperm donor.
You're a sperm donor, sir. Because fathers do not behave that way. Fathers protect and defend the mother of their children and the children. You did not do that.
Your Honor, you treat me biasly.
Biased how? I have the evidence right here, sir. I have the evidence in your plea, and I have the pictures. And we can go to trial, and let me just tell you, you got a whole lot more crimes here and 4 files that you can go to trial on, including the stalking and the interference and all the other charges that could yet be charged that the people have chosen not to file. I'm not going to withdraw this plea because it was a valid plea, because I saw the evidence, because I heard it, because we've had months of you violating court orders. You need to be behind bars.
And I admit that, Your Honor, that I violated.
Stop.
You did a lot of things, sir, that violate the law. So I'm going to get on with this, and I suggest you don't speak anymore. And you get in your head that the us and the we thing is not an us and a we anymore. She is free to go on with her life and the life that she now has to be a single mother raising 4 children and deal with the trauma that you inflicted. You needed to respect her and you didn't. You needed to respect your children and you didn't. The minute you don't respect their mother, you do not respect those children.
And just when you think he might stop talking, nope. He tells the judge she's biased and that she's seeing him as some monster. Look at the judge's face. One raised eyebrow, that's all she needed. Then she starts walking through every injury, every photo, every guilty plea. He keeps denying it anyway. Bro, how? So you can actually watch the judge's patience disappear in real time. And now, it's finally time for the consequences.
As to count 2, assault with a dangerous weapon, and that is in docket 25, you are sentenced to 24 months to 48 months. As to count 3, assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation, you are sentenced to 67 months to 120 months with credit for 257 days. As to count 4, domestic violence and or knowingly assaulting a pregnant individual, 3rd offense, you are sentenced to 38 months to 60 months with credit for the 251 days. Those will run concurrently on this file, however, consecutive to...
Your Honor, I believe if he sets consecutively across those, I think you get credit on the second case then. So he would get the one that he has the most days on, that being the felonious assault. But he would get 0 days credit for the other file.
All right, that's fine. The two together in the file are are concurrent, and they're consecutive to the other file.
Correct.
While he is incarcerated, he will have anger management, domestic violence treatment, and it should be intense mental health treatment, parenting classes. Please give him 2 of his appellate rights, and then he can choose to appeal or not.
I think we're going to get that filled out right now based on what he has been telling me here, Your Honor, so I could have a few moments to get that done.
Absolutely fine. I believe that based on the record in total, the many months I've had to deal with him and have watched his behavior, the statements that he's made to the victim, and this whole total case, that he needs this time in the Michigan Department of Corrections for reformation, protection of society, especially his young children and the mother of his children. Defendant has pressured her to recant and to stand by him despite the violence. This message must be sent. This sentence on these 2 files is proportional to the violence that has occurred and the attitude that I have seen throughout these years.
Thank you.
How much did you send me to, Jan?
All right, this is the moment everyone has been waiting for. The judge calmly starts reading sentence after sentence, count after count. No yelling, no celebration, just consequences. Then she explains this isn't about revenge, it's about protecting the victim and those 4 little kids. Look at her expression, completely steady, completely certain. That decision was made long before today. But wait, the defendant still hasn't figured out how much time he actually got.
How much?
Yeah, how many years you just sent me to?
Well, let me go through.
Yes.
24 months, so 2 years to 48 months on one, so that's 2 years. And then the 67 months is 5.5 years on the other.
So that's 7.
That's right.
So you just sent me to 7 years?
That's right. I could do more.
No, Jan.
Okay.
I just was asking a question.
Well, I'm just making sure you understand. I could do more. I didn't. I stayed within guidelines that are only recommended. Sure, you need to behave, because here's the thing. If you behave in there like you have here, you're going to spend your max time. So you might see your children when they're adults. Let me just be very clear. I want to make sure we're still on the record in this. There is no contact with the victim or your children. No contact means no letters, no emails, no Hallmark cards, no messages through third parties. Don't fake another prisoner. The warden's going to figure it out. No contact.
Will Warren not be able to have contact?
No contact. I don't know. I guess somebody can ask me or the warden, but not now. You still tried to contact her or did contact her last night. Sir, you haven't stopped. This is stalking behavior. That's all for the record. Take them away, please.
Then reality finally hits. How many years did you give me? Bro had to ask because the math wasn't matting. The judge calmly breaks it down about 7 years. No drama, just facts. Then she leans forward with that unmistakable, listen carefully, look, and orders 0 contact. No calls. No letters. No messages. Nothing. Chuckle, that's the final chapter. If you enjoyed courtroom accountability at its finest, hit like, subscribe to Case File USA, and don't miss the next unbelievable case.